go live and y'all can't on
I
StreamYard.
know. Oh, you're going to be sorry you said that.
Yeah.
I know. It'll probably screw up.
Using you left and right.
Well, it is Wednesday, right? Is it Wednesday? Yeah. Wednesday night, we have Carrie Cariello over here, and we have Kate Swenson of Finding Cooper's Voice here. Very impressed. They were very timely, unlike myself.
Well, I literally walked in the door we talked about my book at my church tonight. I brought Jamie and he like took all the accolades, you know, he's like, thank you. And then, we walked in the door at 7:55 and like Winnie was like melting down. There was like a snot situation with like long hair. And I'm like, bye, give her some Tylenol.
See you later.
And he was like, ooh, this isn't good.
I walked in from selling concessions at middle school basketball game, and people in my house were going to play tennis. So,
do you get recognized, Adrian? Are people like, this is Adrian selling me popcorn? She's famous.
No, I don't. Not where I live. They don't want to give me any attention. Now, if I go to like Raleigh or somewhere, yes, but not home. They're like, you don't have any more Mountain Dew. Where is it?
Yes. They keep you humble.
Yes, very humbling around here. And that's good. You know, you want to be in your community and be regular, not the person on the internet that might, you know, sneak in and get you. Look, y'all are being so quiet, so rare.
I froze a little bit. That's all. You guys were saying where you came in from. We went out on a little date.
Yeah, what were you doing?
Oh, where'd you go?
We went out for some Mexican food, me and my fella, because my teenagers, my daughter has been asleep since 7 o'clock. She's 15. Sometimes they do that. And then my one son's working and my other son was at youth group. And I'm like, well, we should just go out for dinner. So that's what we did. I did not have a margarita.
I cannot, so she keeps freezing, but I cannot imagine that freedom of just like going out to dinner. I'm not there. I have 4 kids and then Cooper would need someone and we have the 2 littles. Like, what is that freedom like? Woo! The bra is off. Like, what are you doing out there? She's so frozen.
She is? Why? It's punishment for the video earlier today where she didn't let me talk.
No, she's muted. But Adrian, do you have that kind of freedom? Like, we don't. Yeah.
No. I mean, we have a caregiver, so we can plan, but I don't count. What you're talking about is like, you're just sitting around right now. Spontaneity, negative ghostwriter. No.
Is she frozen again or is she just still?
No, I keep freezing. Am I still?
Get down.
I'm freezing.
It's karma.
Does my face look good or is it like?
No, it looks good. You look really natural. Like maybe you're just resting.
I'm in thought.
No,
I'm resting.
There's no spontaneity around here. But when I have like a day or two, if our caregiver takes Amos to do something, like they go to the beach for the night, I'm always amazed at the freedom. Like, I'm just going to hop in the car and run to the store and I don't have to like talk to. It's like I'm a man or a husband for a minute. It's amazing.
Yeah, I felt that tonight. Joe and I had separate cars. He went to pick up our son, and somebody in my house needed something quick from Hannaford, which is our grocery store chain. And I was like, when am I ever walking into Hannaford's at like 8:30 at night just for just a little thing, like totally unplanned and impromptu?
It's a whole different life.
It is. It is absolutely.
Well, I talked to Adrian earlier. We were talking on the phone and complaining about things as we usually do. And she said something to me that I told my husband and he almost died. We're not going to have an empty nest until Cooper's 30. I mean, we won't ever have an empty nest really, but like Winnie, we still have 17 years with Winnie. And he was like, had like a fake heart attack.
Well, and I have Amos in 2 years, and we're not talking about that tonight. That might.
I know, but it just blew my mind.
To a panic attack. But we were like, how are we? And you are a good bit younger than I am, but like this. Well, the concept of an empty nest is so funny anyway. When you belong to a person that's special, I mean, It ain't ever empty. Even if you're gone, you're, as Carrie, as you know, your son's at a college program and
You're still involved.
you're very involved.
Oh, she's still again. Why is she so tired? Sometimes I think she's like not resonating with what you're saying. So I'm super Minnesotan. So like if you don't, let me just tell you a quick story. I had a boss who refused to validate me and like nod. So I would just word vomit and I would talk for like 15 minutes because I was waiting for that positive validation. So Carrie, you're like really still. And I'm like, oh, she hates Adrian's story. She's kind of
Oh yeah.
Someone just said not even blinking. oh, he's real.
It's him, the dentist.
This is rare. This is rare.
No, he wants to talk.
You have something to say? Oh, he's had a margarita. He should really just go fix the internet. Get out of here.
Yes, I'll fix the internet.
Fix the internet.
Yes.
I say it to my husband all the time. How big was the margarita? This big? Because those
Yeah, they're like globes. You know, they like a snow globe. Go away.
If I had all that freedom, I would be in the margaritas too.
So would I. Like at 9 a.m.
Seriously. I mean, it could be a problem. Okay, so when earlier Kate said, what are we going to talk about? And I was like, I want to talk about the big 3 A's. You all know what the big 3 are, right?
We actually have 5 A's over here. What are your 3?
Not ASS. No A. Autism, anxiety, ADHD. What are the other 2?
Apraxia.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
We have pretty bad apraxia. What were your 3? Autism,
anxiety, ADHD, or ADD, AD something.
I thought I had 5. Apraxia. I guess I don't know. But yeah, so yes, we have the A's too.
Do you, Carrie?
Yes, I'm trying to catch up to what you're saying. If I freeze again, I'm going to leave and come back. Well, Jack does not have ADHD, but he's treated with medication for ADHD because it helps with his stimming. But he's obviously autism and aggression.
Sorry.
Yeah. Jack we didn't have a ton of aggression. I mean, we had one incident where he pushed me because I know we were talking to James this morning and that's the next level aggression that they experience over there.
Man, that attitude. Well, aggression, do you mean like, Amos I don't feel like he ever purposefully wants to hurt somebody, but you could get hurt if you got in the way of something. Yeah. Is that aggression?
I think it has to be purposeful.
Like we don't have aggression much anymore. But I was just at this book club tonight and I was talking to people who do not have autism in their life. And this came up actually, the 3, 4 A's, whatever you want to say. And how I look at it now as autism is the umbrella. It is this overarching umbrella. And then it's these different things holding it up. So we have apraxia, ADHD, anxiety, and anxiety is really the one that just consumes Cooper. And when I changed my way of thinking like that, it really helped me because I used to be really angry about autism. I was angry, I was like, but it's like, well, that's just a word. That's an overarching thing. It's these does that make sense to anyone? Carrie's moving her face. So.
I'm here. Because to me, it's the anxiety.
The anxiety is debilitating.
Right. It is for Cooper too.
Yeah.
Debilitating. Now, so you would say Cooper has apraxia. Just help me understand that. Like the word doesn't travel. He has trouble with the output.
Yep. So the way I describe apraxia really simply is we have motor pathways in our brain that tell our tongue what to do, our mouth what to do, our fingers, how to jump. Like he didn't learn to jump till he was 4 and he's still really not good at it. But what they're saying is like the brain gives the message, but there's like potholes. So it gets lost. And like for example, and like, but they think like they're saying it or they're doing it. So like, I'd be like, Cooper, where's your eyes? And he's like, boop. Like, where's your nose? Boop. Or he cannot move his tongue hardly at all. We work on it all the time. So he cannot move his tongue. So he can't make a D sound. He can't. Apraxia is really a beast because I know a lot of adults that have apraxia but don't have the neurological issues, that don't have and they're just frustrated.
Yeah, it's almost a wonder he's not more frustrated all the time. So when you say doesn't manage his tongue, that was a big red flag for Jack when he for our early integration or early evaluation. He couldn't manage food from the front of his mouth to the back.
Yep.
So Cooper, does he struggle with that now?
So one of the signs, and this may be similar, but like one of the signs that they pointed out to us was like he would eat everything with the side of his mouth, or like if he had juice, he would suck out of the side. And it's because we have more muscle and control over here. So like when we finally found the right speech therapist, she had me touch the inside of his mouth, and his cheek was about that thick because there was zero muscle in his mouth. And after like X amount of speech therapy appointments, his mouth was to a more normal size.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Fascinating.
That's
But
like
we really work on sticking your tongue out. So like if he was here right now and we did this, it would take about 60 seconds, and eventually he would grab it and kind of pull it out, and then he'd be able to do it.
So Amos, they said, had apraxia, and then we saw the speech therapist, this, woman up in Connecticut, went up there, and then we realized he had a posterior tongue tie. So
Interesting.
his tongue was like concrete in his mouth, but it had never been diagnosed because it wasn't this typical thing here. But he couldn't move his tongue at all. But then that surgery helped a lot with his speech.
I'm sure it did, yeah.
So then you have to wonder, like, how many people know even what the devil's going on, depending on who they see.
Yeah.
I was thinking tonight that I sort of have the least understanding of Amos, I think, out of the Cooper and Amos. Like, how verbal? You say he's verbal. Does he have conversations?
So Amos is so when Kate was using this explanation, I think my thing, so we know Amos has a genetic disorder, and that kind of, to me, goes into all these other things. And like y'all, anxiety is the hardest thing. I thought autism was kind of this big diagnosis, but really the pediatric psychiatrist was like, what you're talking about, I guess probably what I was complaining about, those things are anxiety. And I didn't know that at the time. I guess
I didn't either.
And it makes me like autism more, because I think, well, the autism is hard, but it makes Amos interesting. Amos knows every country on the planet. He can spell every country. He can identify every national anthem. If you play any country, he can say Serbia, Bulgaria, whatever.
Fascinating.
But how old are you? He's probably this year can tell you, but like he read before he was potty trained. He read my coffee cup. I had no idea it was like a bank, or something. And he said that. So he can tell you that something hurts. He might say ear hurts. If I say, so tomorrow's Thursday, we have no school tomorrow. I'll say, well, we do have school, and mommy is going to pick you up, not Mary, who's our caregiver. So he can talk. You can get what he means, but he can't tell you, well, what'd you do? He can't really tell you,
Conversational.
Unless you know what questions to ask. I kind of,
Adrian, so when I look back on the beginning of Cooper's life, I am positive.
This is a service dog when you're anxious. She's been trained to with anxiety. So she's on the couch.
Do we make you nervous, Adrian?
No, it's what I'm talking about.
That's amazing.
So she is anchored to me.
When I look back at the beginning of Cooper, I can say with certainty, and people may think I'm crazy, that Cooper had anxiety as a newborn. I think that can you guys relate to that as having other children too?
In hindsight, I look back and like remember him crying when there'd be a lot of people over, like his siblings. And I think, poor fella, he was overdone.
Yep.
Yeah, I always say Jack was just never comfortable in his own skin. It was like he was just constantly in this state of distress. He didn't want to be held. Nothing felt good to him. I mean, and this is at 2, 3, 4 months old. So maybe that was an early anxiety. For us, anxiety hit him in first grade, and it was like the lights went out. It was like nothing I've ever seen a human being change so much in temperament and demeanor. So like that first grade was kind of the beginning of that for us that I know of. But like you said, I don't have a ton of experience with anxiety amongst my other kids.
Same.
Or personally, I mean, I might have like some, I notice hormonally I get triggered and I feel anxious as I get older, but otherwise I never struggled with social anxiety or anything like that. It's new to me.
People always ask, so I was just asked this like a dozen times today, like what were Cooper's signs of anxiety? And it's funny because you wouldn't read it like in a doctor's book, but for like Cooper, he was obsessed when he was like 4 and 5 with swimming. Swimming was his favorite thing in the whole entire world. And I would say what we couldn't figure it out. What his greatest moments of joy caused him the most stress. So like the buildup was too much and being there was too much. And it was never like we'd be like, okay, this is so fun. We're going to go see trains. And it would just be a meltdown. So it got to the point with Cooper where we couldn't even have a swimsuit in the house because if he saw it, then he thought we're going to a pool. We had words that were banned from our vocabulary: swim, boat, pool, lake. And we had a water park weekend planned one time and I ordered new suits from Amazon and they came like early, or I opened them or whatever, or someone opened them and we actually couldn't go to the water park because it was so debilitating for him. And I didn't know that was anxiety at the time, but it's like he was so excited and nervous and it robbed his joy.
Yeah. What about the hoard? Maybe I'm saying this wrong, but the hoarding piece, like, would you say he hoards or that collection of belongings? Is that related to it at all?
I don't know. So like you're the one that turned me on to collecting, Carrie, because I used to say that Cooper was a hoarder because he wanted all kinds of paper and magazines and books and DVDs, right? But I think hoarding, not an expert, but I think like if you love books, you want like 5 million books, right? And you want certain ones. And like Cooper was never like that. He wanted to collect lots of things. So like we could always purge his belongings and he would never care. He would never care. And now he has a closet still, a cupboard full of like 5 million items. But you guys, for it to give hope, he's 12. He takes his things out, he treasures them, and he puts them back.
Wow.
Exciting. Mm-hmm. And Carrie, what did you see as the signs of anxiety?
He just truly like a switch flipped. He became hyper fixated on unusual things. The wind chill factor. We live in New Hampshire, it gets cold. That it was going to be too cold for him. He stopped sleeping really abruptly and he kind of descended. Like he would say these nonsensical things that scared him. Like one of them that always stands out to us is he would say, the babies are going to paint me blue. The babies will paint me blue. He also never
from a show.
We never ever sorted it.
Well, I asked that because when Cooper would get anxious, but we wouldn't know he was anxious because he couldn't show us, he would watch Baby George from Peppa Pig crying as loud as he could. And we would see him physically get upset over, and we're like, just shut the sound off. But he couldn't. So it's different when from a nonverbal to a verbal. I wonder if those are comparable.
It's hard. It's really hard to know. We never could trace it back to anything. He also, and this bothered Joe so much, at that point he would join us as a family and watch a short amount of TV. He was never good for like 40 minutes or anything. When he was really hit with this so abruptly, he never came in. It was like he was always on the peripheral to us. He was always like outside.
He paced, right? You said that, didn't he pace?
Oh, he still paces. That was an adjustment for me with the holidays because, he's not here full time. And when he came back, he is a giant human. He's 6'5", pacing the room. And then my nervous system like starts to ratchet up. Jack lost some of his toilet training. So he was 6. He would get so distraught about things coming out of his body and controlling that, even though he was potty trained at a really decent age, like 3-ish. And I'll never forget, he wouldn't get out of the, we eat out as a family. We've always been pretty successful at that. And we pulled up to this one restaurant he'd been to many times. He would not get out of the car to go in. And research says the skills we work the hardest for are the ones we lose first under stress. So he couldn't tell us what it was about coming into that restaurant that was so distressing to him. I remember Joe waited in the car with him for like 45 minutes and then finally managed to work him in. Because, we had 4 other kids at the time. It wasn't like, I guess we could have said, okay, that's it. We'll just pack up and go home. But, you have a certain amount of momentum when you have that many people with you.
Yeah. Well, you can't always, there's so many things in life you have to change. You can't always do it. I think with Amy, what really got me when I thought, okay, we need help is we would be getting ready for the day and he would have these, I guess the word meltdown and now, but I didn't know what a meltdown was then. Mm-hmm. I just saw them as tantrums. He's screaming and crying and you had no idea what even started it.
Yeah.
Where I feel like now we still have some hyperfixation on travel and, going to Germany on the high-speed train. So probably maybe that is, but typically if Amos is upset, I can tell you why.
Mm.
So
yep.
that was super hard. That was the biggest thing for me. And I didn't know that was anxiety. I just thought he's a nut. I mean, I don't know what's happening with him, but anyway.
Right. Mm-hmm. The other thing Jack did was he asked what time it was. He could read a clock by then. He would ask the time 30, 40 times, like in 5 minutes. And when we finally got him in front of the doctor, it was like that, when they play possum, it was like, oh, he's okay. He looks good right now, And we said to the doctor, do you think he looks anxious? And he was like, yeah. Like, I don't know how he's functioning.
Right. So we have the verbal, nonverbal part. So Cooper wakes me up every morning by touching my face. He's done that for years. And then the first thing he does is he holds a set of fingers up for whatever we're counting down for. And we're always counting something. So right now, this morning, even though there was no school, he didn't know that yet. It was 3. So yes, buddy, 3 days of school. And then I have to reassure him all day long. So right now, the new thing is, again, back to nonverbal. So he wants to choo-choo me, and then he'll pat my chest. And he wants to take a train and sleep on it because I mentioned in Amtrak that you can sleep on. And I bet we've talked about it 75 times today. And Jamie's like, how do you do it? And I'm like, I think it's because I perceive it as almost medical. Mm-hmm. Like I don't honestly get that frustrated. I don't. I have my triggers, but like Jamie can't do it. He can't reassure him 75 times a day.
And both are reasonable. I mean, I can understand points of view.
Oh, Adrian's frozen.
Do you have a plan of when you're actually going on the train?
Did you freeze on me or are you still there?
So here's the problem. I went to the special needs ministry thing on Sunday and met a mom who has a 44-year-old son, just like Cooper. And I was like soaking up the knowledge, right? Because how often does that happen? And she was telling me she takes her son on the Amtrak to Chicago and Montana. And she was telling me all these details. And it was just so fun to talk to her because that's going to be my life. So I came home and was telling Jamie.
We'll go.
Okay, we'll meet you. Okay, so listen to this. Just a little insider information to make you smile. She's like, well, you get on the train at 10 o'clock at night and that you have a sleeper car and they have mints on your pillows and your room's all set up and you go to sleep and you arrive. It's 22 hours to Montana. Oh. And she's like, you arrive at like 8:30. She was telling me, and then we go to Chicago and do the zoo and the Shedd Aquarium. And so I get home Sunday and I'm telling Jamie, you guys, Cooper was like a white ninja. He came running in and he's like, yes. And I was like, oh gosh. Okay. I thought you had a mild hearing loss. Okay. Hello. So he has been on my Katootie ever since Sunday to put it on the calendar. And I'm like, I don't have 72 hours to zip on over to Montana, sweets. So also being locked in a metal box with you sounds like my worst nightmare. But like, okay, by all means, let's give it a go.
It could be no, we want to go on a high-speed train in Germany. We want to go on a cruise boat. So I'm going on a cruise, with some of my followers. And next Monday, a week from Monday, 100 people are going. Well,
100, you said 50. Oh,
that's already? Oh my gosh, I'm going to miss you guys. FaceTime me every day.
I know.
I think someone has told Amos or asked him about the cruise because he has become hyperfixated on talking about going on a cruise.
But he could have heard you talk about it.
No, I've been very careful about not talking about it.
Could he have read something like a piece of paper?
About the Titanic. So he said, the cruise boat is not going to sink. I said, no,
it's not, Amos. No, Amos, it's not going to sink.
Said it's to go to the Pacific Ocean. I said, well, out here, that is not the Pacific Ocean. That is the Albemarle Sound. He said, the Disney cruise boat is in the Albemarle Sound. I was like, it is not.
No. Maybe a commercial. I bet he saw a commercial and it's not related to you.
He doesn't watch TV.
Oh, he doesn't watch. No.
We watch Backyardigans.
Oh, I remember that show.
But so Adrian, does he like, I think him and Cooper are kind of similar. So like Cooper asks me wild things all the time. So a big one, he's really hell-bent on going to outer space. He really, really wants to do a high-speed train. Like, so it's a lot of movement things, like big things like that. He really wants to go on an airplane and see the whales. Like he has all these ideas, but he can move on. Can Amos move on?
No. We got to Miami for spring break and he had gotten in his head that there was this train there or he wanted to go to Germany. And obviously, and finally we got there the next day. I woke up and I said, well, Amos and I are going to get on the bus and we're going to Miami and then we're going to get on the train. And my whole family like looked at me like we had lost our minds. But I was like, he's going to drive me crazy all week. So my dad took us up to the bus stop.
Yeah.
They didn't even charge us. They just looked at us like these people clearly need to be on this bus. Then we go on the accordion bus. Then we went on the Metro rail. Then we went on the other train. He was happy. And now he hadn't been talking about the train since then. So it's like he did it and he's on. But now he's on to the cruise. It's always going to be something.
With Cooper, it's always something. And it's funny how you live and learn and you do better, right? Because like we always take this trip up north and Cooper's favorite part, he's going to go to the depot, the train depot, which really means the gift shop. Right. Overpriced things. Yes. And so when we went last time, we drove the 3 hours and went right to the depot. And then he was so much better the whole time. That's anxiety in itself.
Like you got it out of the way first.
Yeah.
That's so smart.
Yeah. I wonder if I need more anxiety help.
Yeah. We should take a train though and we'll meet somewhere.
Oh, I mean, that train to Montana. I mean, I was thinking the other day, well, schmuck. I might as well just get on the Amtrak and go spend the night on the train. And actually, it would be fairly relaxing. I mean, if they could just sit there.
Yeah.
The family that I talked to, the mom said it's really fun. And she's like, so if you go first class, you're paying.
Yeah, I'm going first class.
Oh, yep. Because she goes, speaking of anxiety, she's like, my son's 44. And she's like, we have to go first class because he could never handle going to find our seats. It would make him so stressful. Uh-oh. So she stressed. It was really interesting because it's probably our future, right? So she's like, you have a car and there's windows on both sides. She said, must be at the end then. Right. And there's beds all set up and you can go to the dining car or they can bring your food to you, depending what you want to pay. They'll bring drinks to you. And I was like, okay, I think I'm sold.
No, I mean, I'm going to Montana in July. I mean, this is great.
Oh my gosh, we should go. What we worry about, so we had a good talk about it here, where we don't know if Cooper could, so we're like, well, what do we do when we get there? Because like, we don't know if he could do an Uber. He probably could, but we don't know. And restaurants are really hard. So that's where we kind of worry is like, what would we do when we get there?
Like an Airbnb or something?
But we could do that. He could do the sleeping, but like one of my anxiety points is like he could never take a bus somewhere. It would the waiting, the crowds, the not having a seat, maybe.
Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah, see, and Amos can wait when it is for something that he wants to do.
Mm.
That's awesome.
So like he could sit in that and wait for that bus. Now, he and a woman that happened to be homeless did about have a knockdown drag out because wanted to go through her stuff, which
Oh,
wasn't really a fan of that. And then she
What
was
did you say?
well, so then he wanted her to speak to him. And she, so he was this close going, "Hi, hi." She said, "Hi." He said, "Hi, how are you?" Which means he wants her to say, "How are you?" to him.
oh,
And then she said, "I said hi to him. Can he not hear?" And I said, "No, he's deaf."
oh.
I just couldn't think of anything else to say. I was like, we got to get the frick out of here. We need to
When
get out.
was this? How long ago was that?
This is like a week ago. And
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Don't you always think of like these are the things that'll make the national news, the
Oh,
result of this situation? Oh, crapsters.
you know what? If somebody gets me for that, I mean, say, have at it. I mean, what else was I going to do? Like, I mean,
Oh, that's amazing.
there's only so much you can dive into in a diagnosis with a person. So
yeah,
Well, and don't you feel like sometimes you don't want to? So
yeah.
I had a post a while back where it's like, I'm all about educating, I'm all about explaining, but there's times when I'm just like, we're here.
Yeah.
I'm off duty.
yeah.
Yes, it's
I mean,
exhausting.
sometimes it's just, you just don't have the bandwidth.
No, no. And for somebody you can kind of intuitively know it's not gonna land with them anyway. So I think a shortcut is very reasonable.
Yeah.
That's
Oh my
because
gosh.
that's why I like y'all. So anyway, well, I don't know if we really solved any of the world's problems, but y'all, I'm just loving this. So we've done this Wednesday night thing now for a little bit. This is
Yeah.
the first time we've done it on the big page. We've been doing it. We have a subscriber page. So we just wanted to give everybody a little taste on the big page. Though I think we like the subscriber page, but this month we're doing big pages, right? Aren't we?
Yep. So
Yep.
next Wednesday, Carrie's.
Is mine, and we have Lisa from Cody Speaks coming on. I'm so excited to talk to her.
And how old is her son?
21, 20 or 21. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's the first young man that I found. So Lisa, when I say she saved my life, like she did, she was the first page that I found and one of the only ones that talks about, the significantly affected at that age. And he said his first word at 12.
Wow.
And she talks about how there was just not a lot of support and she just talked to him every day. That's what she did. She just kept talking to him. She'll tell us all about that next week, but
Yeah.
she has this calm demeanor. Like Adrian, you know her kind of, sort of. She's
Yeah.
just
I met her.
wonderful.
Yeah.
She's
lovely.
She's very gentle.
And then we have a week off, right?
Are we going to do our week when Carrie and I are on the cruise?
Listen, that is you are like Cinderella on that cruise. Like
you guys, like,
I think we need to do it. I think that would be.
I'm in for it.
You bring like the captain of the ship. Can you wear the hat?
I'm not even going to be able to get near Adrian. She has a whole schedule of when she'll see people. She's going to be waving like.
Just sleep in her room. Go in her room.
I will. I'm making her eat dinner with me.
You know where Adrian is going to be? Adrian is going to be on the unicorn float. Did you see this on YouTube? This woman on a unicorn float in the pool, like there's a thunderstorm, and she goes out and gets in the pool, and the water is like washing out of the pool, and she's just flying. I mean, I was like, that is me. That's what.
Yes. Adrian, is Ann Dale Homestead going on the cruise?
And Dale Homestead is going on the cruise.
Bring her on too.
Okay. Ann Dale Homestead can join us. Now, Ann Dale Homestead, this is Kate, who is very amazed with your amazing Instagram.
What is that thing?
Oh, God, I didn't try to pin it.
Of all the comments. Now we're going to have a COVID warning.
What was that?
Aisha wants us to do natural healing for herpes, cancer.
Oh,
I would look at this group and think herpes as well. So I get that.
Nothing says herpes like a scarf around your neck.
If you send me your Cash App, I'll send you $1, and then you can send me 1,000. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes.
I feel like herpes is something you don't go after homeopathically.
Stop sharing that.
You attack it.
I'm trying to ban him. I can't help it.
Okay, and then yay, Lynn said yikes. Yikes is my favorite. And then I'm gonna have a special guest, but I don't know who to have. Does anyone have any suggestions? Is anyone famous?
I'd love to crowdsource that.
You know famous people, Carrie.
I do? Who?
You met that hottie from This Is Us.
He's
Invite
so
him.
hot. Oh my gosh, Justin Hartley. I met Mike Tyson once. I was in the room with Derek Jeter.
That's cool.
In the room, Joe was like, "Sit down." No, because we're big.
I met Donna from 90210 when I was at Mom 2 in Los Angeles.
I wouldn't know who that is. Oh, sorry.
Martin, are you kidding?
Yes, you do. That blonde. She's the really blonde, right?
And Billy. Andrew Shue was our like host. Who's
I love him.
So you guys, Jamie was big into 902, and I'm a little bit younger.
Yeah, that's true. What about how you have the star power, Kate? You should go in. Like, what about Holly Robinson Pete?
You know, okay, so I read her book at both my son's schools. It's the best book for anyone watching that needs a book it's called My Brother Charlie. It is one of the best books for children understanding. So we read it in Sawyer's class every year and Cooper's class. And I tried to get her to you know, talk to me. And no, she was like, back off. Her people were like, too close.
That's a shame. That'd be fun.
That would be fun. I think she's super famous.
Well, let's see what
think lower, Carrie. Think lower.
The next level down. That's us.
Like a D list. A D. Maybe a little herpes, you know, somewhere in there.
Somewhere between herpes and Holly Robinson Pete. All right. I'll put my brain on that.
Yeah. Muhammad, are you available? Got banned him.
Who got banned?
The lady trying to cash app us with her healing.
I just sent her some money, though.
I'm healed. What?
Look at that. Gone.
I'll think of someone, though. I mean, famous.
Well, you know, I was the nanny for John Oates of Hall & Oates, right? Big up, kiss is all.
Hey, you know Alicia Keys.
Well, she did tweet me one time.
She did?
She tweeted. Ashton Kutcher shared me.
What about when you went on with the book? Why can I not think of that host's name?
Well, there was no book then, but Jimmy Fallon.
But wasn't it his book? Oh, it wasn't.
Yes,
okay.
His book. I got very close to him for a photo, but it was an aggressive pull in quick snip. Go.
And they get away. Like,
and he had people. His people were like this. Yeah.
That's how it was with the This Is Us guy too. They were like, no, there's no pictures. And I'm like, you don't understand.
That's what I said. I go,
there
I did not be here. I also met, you know, who's a real hottie McHottie. I met him at a Today Parents event. I can't think of his name, but he's in New Amsterdam. Come on, someone, you know, he's hot.
You mean Joe Cariello? No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, Carrie's husband. But no, hold on.
Who just peered his head
in New Amsterdam.
Was New Amsterdam a show?
Ryan Eggold. Hot.
She is young because I don't even know what she's talking about.
New Amsterdam is on NBC.
Oh, I know.
Okay. Lady.
I just got done with White Lotus. That's really good.
I watched Grey's Anatomy. I mean, what are y'all talking about?
I love Grey's Anatomy.
I never watched that either.
We need to know someone famous.
Well, we'll work on it. Maybe they'll come to us.
Maybe this will bring them in.
This is a draw. We're a draw.
Like you could be right here.
Maybe we can get Eladia Baldwin.
Oh, yeah. Weren't you all amped up about her? Didn't we have conversations? You were going after her or something.
Oh, great. You burned that bridge. Thanks.
Weren't you going after her? Or was it my friend Courtney?
It was me. She grew up in Boston.
Oh, I remember this.
She's from Spain, and then she's on the Today Show, and she's taking the spot for the Spanish girl, and she says, I'm cooking with a salad, and what is the red thing I can't how you say it in English. Tomato.
Now she's not going to come on.
No, she's not
Well,
going to like us.
It's done. What she's like George Santos. She lies. We can't have anybody,
No, we need
This
authentic.
is a truthful segment here.
We
This
need
is
this.
all
We are
truth.
truth tellers. We are truth
what
tellers.
happens when I'm in charge of the segment.
What about Mary Kate Backstrom?
Oh, Mary Catherine. Yes.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
Amy Weatherly.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I could pull her in.
Yeah, I don't know them, but
They are famous to me.
they're very famous to me. You're very famous to me, both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's hard to be this famous. It is hard to live in this life.
Winelda. I want to have Winelda. I wonder if we could get Winelda.
She's never acknowledged me either, but I think you could, Adrian. You could get her with that charm.
Yeah.
You know who I almost had a connection with. So when I had my viral video and I had some bullying and stuff happening. Oh, another one.
Uh-oh.
Clever.
I'm going to pin you, clever.
I can't see Carrie.
What?
I can't see.
Yeah.
Come
Hold
back.
I'm covered by herpes.
I'm trying to get rid of it. Hold on. He won't.
Whoa. Is anyone in there?
Get that off.
I can't.
Get the herpes off. Okay. Carrie, call
What?
out if you're there.
I'm here.
Okay, serious. Okay. I almost met
Oh.
Kelly Clarkson. I was so close. To me, Kelly Clarkson is the top.
Oh,
And
I have
she's
a good
nice.
picture with her.
You have her number?
No, but I
You're
have her.
mad at her. Now we're never going to get her.
I met her at, no, she liked me. I was nice.
Oh.
I met her at the Today Show lunch in New York. Remember how the Today Show have those lunches?
Yes, so that's kind of how I almost got connected with her. So apparently she went through some really hard online bullying over her weight. And I think there was a thing where she had a Instagram video or thing where her daughter was like eating Nutella, which is not a strange thing, but
Right.
she went through a lot of shame. And she spoke about it, how she was like, all I can do is like take a picture and put it out there. And if they hate me, they hate me. And I just really resonated with her.
She seems like a great human.
So, Adrian, please work on Winelda and Kelly Clarkson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes,
That's
Meredith. We could have Meredith Masony too.
And she has an autistic son.
I don't know who that is.
Who?
Meredith does. Meredith's
What?
son is. Yeah. That's Inappropriate was her page.
Oh, yes, I do know. Okay.
That.
Yeah, she talks about it minimally, like kind of the last time she talked about it on Autism Awareness Month, and she wrote a really beautiful post and then got a lot of kickback for it. And then like responded that was like, I'm going to talk about this because, and say what I want to say. I really respected her for it.
Oh,
Yes.
that's Drew Barrymore. Oh, I do love some Drew Barrymore.
Yes.
I like.
What about Amy? Her.
Amy Adams.
Wait, who are you saying?
She's an actress.
No, Amy. She's from SNL. She.
Amy Poehler?
No, it'll come to me. But she's married to a man who's diagnosed, and they have the one little boy.
Oh no. She's on the Super Offensive. I saw her at a comedian.
Yeah,
What's her
comedian.
name? Blonde.
She was in
adorable.
I Am Pretty.
Amy Schumer.
Schumer.
Yes.
Because she's married to a person, so that could be an interesting perspective.
So, fun fact, I saw her in the Twin Cities for a show the day Prince died. And anyone knows Prince is big in the Twin Cities, and I went down there to see her, and there was 5 million people plus one at First Ave for Prince. So it was like a really kind of scary, angsty time. But saw Amy Schumer, and she spent the whole time yelling at us. It was like you were kind of afraid to laugh, but you had to laugh because she was so scary. And people were being removed like left and right for heckling her. It was an eye-opening experience. I don't know how comedians do that stuff.
Why was she yelling?
Her comedy was like angry comedy.
I could see that. That might not relate well.
And a lot of dirty SCX comedy.
Oh.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just I love a good laugh. I mean, herpes, here we are. I mean,
Yeah.
I love a good laugh. But I left feeling like really uncomfortable. I was like, I
Oh,
feel like I just got yelled at for like an hour.
like dirty.
Yeah. But I'd have her on still. So no offense, Amy.
Yeah. I mean, she talks a lot about that a marriage that's complex because of it. So
Oh, Al Roker. Oh, see, I've always wanted to Al.
how
But
can
he's
you
just
see comments? I can't see any comments.
You're out of
Are
the
you on
comments.
your phone, Carrie?
Yes.
That's
I
why.
can see the comments. Yeah, I've met Al Roker a couple times.
Oh.
I met him. Yeah, he's nice.
He is nice.
Oh, here's comments.
He's small, little,
He's tiny,
tiny.
like my height.
Well,
Yeah.
how tall are you? Oh, I can see the comments. Look what I've been missing all this time.
5'4".
Oh, you're petite.
She Al's very sick though. So if you know me, you know I'm a Today Show obsessed
Yes.
person.
Is he better though now
He's
or
back
not?
on the show.
He's back on the show. I heard it was like blood clots or something. They couldn't like figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, I have to fly. Check in with
Carry on.
and I'm probably gonna freeze soon anyway because of my herpes. So
Oh, someone said Colin Farrell. He's hot. Let's have him on.
he is hot.
Okay, so Adrian,
He's being hot.
Well,
we're young,
will make it
vibrant women.
interesting.
Who is Samuel Riello? What the devil? Samuel, you're about to get.
What is he doing?
I'm gonna hurt him.
Like what I like is when you highlight a comment to ban them, it brings them on the screen.
Blocked, but now blocked. Goodbye, Samuel.
Okay, I think I just wanted to wait till my kids were in bed. I didn't want to go up there till they were in bed.
Good job.
Y'all for tuning in. Please go follow Carrie Cariello, Kate Swenson of Finding Cooper's Voice. We all have subscriber pages where it's very delightful.
Our cash apps are available at all times.
Cash app.
Oh, all right. Good night, my friends.
I'll see you next week.
See you later. Bye.
Love y'all. Bye.